I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the website Global Math Institute. In this video, we'll take up question based on Pythagorean theorem. What we are really going to learn is how do we sketch the diagram as per the requirement and then solve the word problem. So we'll take up many questions in this playlist. I'd like you to go through the playlist and understand the concepts. The very first question is before you. It is a square PQRS and rhombus QRTU are drawn with the same base. Area of square is 625 centimeters square and area of rhombus is 500 centimeters square. Question 1. Sketch a diagram to illustrate the situation. Question 2. Find area of region in the square that is not shared by the rhombus. Now, if I give you the diagram, the question may not be that difficult, but without a figure, it is indeed a very challenging question. So, I like you to think over it, sketch the diagram, and then solve it. The whole exercise is to visualize and then solve the problems. In case you want to learn from me, feel free to send an email on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. We are taking new students now. Let me also thank all the viewers and contributors who are regularly contributing towards our YouTube channel. It is indeed your channel. Your questions are being answered every day. We have been providing you these free services for the last 15 years, and today we have more than 17,000 free math videos. These are being watched over 80 countries. In case you want to regularly support us, send an email. We can work out a method. Your contributions matters as we want to reach the millions, right? Let's get back to our question. So, so the question is, we are given a square which is PQRS. Also, we are given a rhombus which is QRTU. They are drawn with the same base, right? So that is very important to understand that they have the same base. So let me begin by sketching the square first. Okay, so let's say this is the square. Okay, let's label. Now, if you see the name QR and QR are common, right? So that means the base should be QR, same base. Now, square is PQRS, so I can write square as PQRS. It is good to have clockwise or counterclockwise naming. So I hope that part is clear, right? Now, square has an area of 625, we'll see that. And now the rhombus is QRTU. Rhombus is a parallelogram, as you know, which is kind of like this, right? So let me just sketch this. So that could be the rhombus. And rhombus is QR, TU. So let me write T and U here. Makes sense. So that becomes the rhombus. Correct. Now, what we are interested in figuring out? Find the area of region in the square that is not shared by rhombus. So, basic area which we are interested is this area. This is the area of the square which is not shared by the rhombus. Is that making sense to you, right? So I hope now the question is absolutely clear, right? So once the diagram is there before you, it becomes relatively simple to answer. Indeed, this is a difficult question, right? Okay, now Let us try to solve this. So let's begin with what is given to us, which is a square area is equal to 625 centimeters square. So if the sides are S, in this case, side length will be what? Square root, right, of 625, which is 25. So each side of the square is 25 units long. So that means base is also 25. Makes sense, right? All are in centimeters. So we found that the dimensions of the squares is 25 centimeters each side. Now let's get back to the rhombus. Now rhombus area is 500 centimeters square. So what is the formula for area of a rhombus? Well, it is base into height, right? So we have to find this height. Let's say height is h, which is base times height, right? So in this case, we can write 500 is equals to base of 25, right? Times height of h. So from here, we can calculate what is the height, right? So height is 500 by 25. Makes sense. So we have found the height is 500 by 25, so which goes 20 times, right? So height is 20. So that means this much height is 20. And this is 5. That means correct. So we have broken down each dimension of this particular diagram. Is that clear to you? Now you can easily find the area of the shaded portion, correct? So I will leave that as an exercise for you. So at this stage, what we have done is we have the dimensions right there before us. You have the shaded region. To find the area, let us see how do we further work it out. So let me sketch the diagram once again. So we have a square here. The diagram definitely is not to the scale, but it does illustrate how we could actually solve it, right? Now we know that each side of this square is 25. Rhombus also, each side is equal, right? So these are also 25, correct? So this is also 25. Now we just found that the height is 20. So this side is 5. Is that clear to you? So we can split this region whose area we need to find into a rectangle and a triangle. So we'll find the area of these two regions, this and this. Area of rectangle is easy since we know both the sides 5 and 25. How about the triangle? Well, in the triangle, the area is not easy. We know that this height here is 20, which is this, but we don't know how much is this base. So we'll use Pythagorean theorem to find this particular base of triangle, right? So let me once again label this. So we have this as QRTU, correct? And we have PQRS. So let's call this point here as V. So we need to find what is U to V equals to, right? We can use Pythagorean theorem. UV square is the smaller side is 25 square minus 20 square, correct? So we can now find this as 625 minus 400, which is equal to 225. And therefore, UV is square root of 225, which is 15. So we now find that this length, smaller length of that triangle, leg is 15. So if triangle is 15 by 20, you get the idea. And now we can find the area. So area is equal to area of rectangle, right, plus area of triangle, right? So which is area of rectangle, as you can see, is 5 into 25, right? Plus triangle area is half base into height, which is half 20 into 15. Perfect. So that is how we are going to get the total area, and the units will be centimeters square. Now you can multiply, right? 5 times 25 is 125. Plus half, you can do 10 times 150, correct? Which is 275. Do you see that? So we found that the area of the square which is not covered by the rhombus is indeed 275. Now, many students, when this question was given, just took the difference between these two, which is not the case. You can see, because there is a portion of rhombus which was not covered in the area of the square. You get the idea. So it is definitely more than that. So if you are given a multiple choice question, you at least know it has to be more than that difference. And it is calculated to 275. You see how? First, we used the visualization to make this diagram and then used Pythagorean theorem to find the missing side. After calculating each side using area concept. So many concepts get into solving of such questions, and that is why these are critical questions to understand. I hope it makes sense. Feel free to write your comment, share your views. In case you want to learn from me, send an email to globalmathinstitute@gmail.com and continue supporting your channel. Thank you and all the best.